Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition Chronicle. As a short run, this is Toronto by Night. As a warning, this is a mature game and explores some dark and troubling themes. These may include body horror, gore, violence, loss of character agency, gaslighting, mind control, and many others. Our players have all discussed consent and boundaries, and they collectively avoid situations that may be triggering. The players will always let me know if anything gets uncomfortable by using yellow and red cards in our private chat. If you as a viewer ever feel uncomfortable or triggered, please pause and step away. Everything's going to be available on YouTube, which will be over there after the game, so you can always come back to an episode when you feel ready. Thank you to our sponsor, Michaela Artoya of Artoya Designs, who created these awesome dice boxes. And they are absolutely amazing. Please visit him on Instagram. The link, again, will be over here in the chat. And also to Dogmite Games. Dogmite Games is the best gaming company you've never heard of. They combine craftsmanship and artistry to create truly unique pieces of functional art for your game, from dice boxes and rolling trays to fully sculpted Valhalla screens for GMs. Each piece is created on site in their workshop in Michigan by a devoted team of craftsmen. And I have the Gangrel one right here because I'm a storyteller. And it's the best plan. So, you don't agree with me, you can bite my ass. And let's see, where did I moved the other thing. Sorry, my bad. Give me 1 second. This one. And Martlet Games. Martlet Games is a collective of TTRPG veterans ready to work for you. From actual play productions to tabletop game development, they're a one-stop shop for all your creative needs. Investing in the World of Darkness streaming community helps keep channels like this one online and thriving, and we greatly appreciate any love they can share with them on their Patreon, which will be up in the chat. And it's time to introduce our vampires for the Toronto segment of things. Let's start with Cliff.
Oh, this is an interesting pole position. Hello, folk. My name is Cliff, and this evening I'll be playing Barker, a Nosferatu employee of a local drinking establishment.
We'll get into that in just a few seconds. Joanna.
Hello, my name is Joanna. My pronouns are she, her, and this evening, morning, or afternoon, I will be playing Eloise Trent, also she, her, of Clan Ventrue, finally playing the Clan of Kings.
And Prince.
Hello, everyone. I am Prince, also known as Dimples and Dice, and I am playing Ali Sue, or Terrence to those who don't know my secrets, Salubri Private Eye.
And joining us as a special guest for this run on Toronto by Night is Anne.
Hello, my name is Anne, and I will be playing Diana Chambers, a extremely attractive lounge singer who doesn't have any secrets at all. Both of our pronouns are she, her.
And this guy's Storyteller Steve. Pronouns are he, him, and I respond to either those or hey, Storyteller. So it doesn't really matter which way you go on that one. And let us go into the world of darkness of Toronto. Let's see. This particular run, this short run of 4 episodes, is going to start opening the scene in the Cloak Bar and Speakeasy in Toronto. It's one of many speakeasies that have opened up over the last couple of years in Toronto. They've started popping up all over the place because, hey, why not? It's the 20s again. Having a great deal of kindred are starting to feel nostalgic for this particular time gone by. They're starting to think, open up speakeasies, and nature kind of abhors a vacuum. So as soon as the speakeasies start opening up, kindred move in, they start making it their own and making deals and arrangements in the backgrounds, much like old time speakeasies. This particular speakeasy is in the domain of Prince Olivia Morgan of Clan Nosferatu. There are various anarch pockets in the city of Toronto, Scarborough, Moss Park, and there are a few other coach barons that are kicking around. Some of them might even be thin bloods, but for the most part, they're kind of ignored by the upper echelons of power. But there is an upheaval with all things kindred society, and much like any other battle in kindred society, it's less about open warfare in the streets and more about positioning people and pieces on the chessboard in order to secure your side's victory. The eternal struggle marches ever onward. We're going to open up in the sub-basement of the Cloak Bar Speakeasy Lounge. The ordinary Cloak Bar is kind of a regular speakeasy where you go through a certain door that leads you to a sub area that only the people who know about would be able to gain access to. But the sub basement of the Cloak Bar is where only the kindred and ghouls are able to access. There is security at the door. What would your particular characters be doing in the sub basement of the Cloak? Would you be going there for a drink, just hanging out, trying to make deals? Let's start with Cliff or Barker.
Yeah, Barker's employed in the back room of the Cloak. He's one of the couple of bouncers. Being Nosferatu, he's got a little place of his own a little deeper down, and takes the back way in that most of the Nos use. And he would be in for the evening to, hang and make sure everything goes as it should. No one gets too riotous. Start off the night having mask up so that he just kind of fades into the background and appears to be just someone who's supposed to be there.
And Eloise, what is Eloise up to?
Well, Eloise would have been checking her books and things like that. She obviously wanted to make sure that everything was run in her absence during the day over at King Industries, that everything was fine. And so, given that the speakeasy is in the basement of the King Industries building, she's gone down there a little bit, tired from looking at the various financials and all of that. She's pondering to herself that this feels like 1929 all over again. And she's going down, and before she heads into the sub basement, she's going to see if she can find someone who is, a tech bro, a wealthy tech bro.
Going into the hunt before we head into the actual...
A rouse check?
Yes, thanks for
May I do my
reminding me.
homework?
Teacher, you forgot to collect our homework. So everybody is going to have to do a rouse check, which is a single 10-sided dice for everybody who is new to Vampire the Masquerade, or if you're playing the home game, you can hit !rouse in the chat to do the rouse check.
Just a regular one?
Just a regular D10. 1 through 5 is you get hungrier. 6 through 10 is a success and you do not get hungrier as you awake from day sleep.
Ooh, I got hungry.
You got hungrier? Who else got hungrier?
This guy.
Oh, wow. Eloise, did we do...
Well, I did. No, Eloise didn't. So Eloise is going to look at the tech. Eloise is going to look at the tech bro and say, you know what? I'm not hungry enough and he's not rich enough.
Yeah, he's probably like, you take the elevator down from King Industries and you come across like the tech bro who's there late. He's stressed out. You actually catch a glimpse of his phone and you realize that yeah, he's a tech bro, but he invested heavily in whatever coin happens to be the craze this particular week, and it bottomed out entirely. So he is not something that you're looking for food.
Not hungry enough.
Not
And
hungry
so
enough.
so Eloise is gonna head down to the sub basement and make some small talk with Barker at some point.
Okay. Before we get to that, Barker, you did not succeed on your rouse check.
No, I did 2 RAS checks actually to wake up and to use mask,
Okay.
and did not succeed on the mask.
So, in not succeeding on the mask, you wake up, there's nothing. You throw the mask up when you get near the
Mhm.
sub basement. What would your sire sound like?
Um, let's go with an angry Danny DeVito.
Wow. Okay. Hey, Barker. Barker. Hey, Barker. You gotta eat.
Yeah,
You should probably eat someone while you're in the speakeasy.
yeah, yeah. I'll grab a mug.
But come on, you're okay. Let's go for a little bit more high class, shall we?
Yeah, if it ain't cold and old, it don't sit well in the gullet.
We're gonna have to work on that,
Yeah, you keep saying that.
and that's the last you hear about that. Uh, Allie, what would you be up to, and what would your sire sound like? I'm just gonna quiz you guys all night.
Ali actually doesn't know what his sire sounds like. The only voice that he remembers that is similar to sire is someone uh, telling me that if I make it out of this, then I'll be better than all of the rest of them before being hit in the back of the head with a shovel and thrown into an empty grave. Uh, and so it is sort of a gruff, not giving a fuck sound a person that really just sticks to Ali even years and years and years later.
So, upon awaking, you hear, "Hey, you still got that scar back there. That's kind of funny. You should probably eat someone, though. Look, man, I didn't hit you in the back of the fucking head for nothing.
Yes, I'm better than the rest of them, but
Yeah,
no, I can't submit to you.
you're totally better than the rest of them. I mean, the rest of them are, I don't know where they fucked off to.
All of the teachings say that I should never submit to you.
Are you really gonna trust like the scribblings of some Malkavian in a cave somewhere 2,000 years ago? I mean, come on, come on.
I trust in the word of Cain. I don't trust you.
What makes you think I'm not from Kane?
It's way too fucking annoying.
So what are you doing headed towards the speakeasy sub basement?
Ali comes here to smoke cigars and people watch. Uh, Whenever he doesn't have a case that he's actively working on, this is just his go to spot. Listen to some music, sit back, have a drink, have a smoke, freak people out with the fire periodically, and just have a good time. Because when you watch people, you start to get their mannerisms, the way they move, where they go, how they move about their own life. And then you know how to find out who's who and who did what when you need to.
That is also true. Diana, what would your beast sound like?
Um, Probably like a very sexy, seductive, like former lover kind of vibes.
Okay.
That's kind of like in my mind right now. But yeah.
So when you wake up from the day sleep, you hear, Diana, had this conversation too many times. You should eat someone. Just find someone pretty, at least, and drink.
You need to learn to be patient. I have places to be, and I have to go out there and perform. It's what I do in the evenings. We will get what we need. There's always a little bit of a bite, a little bit of a snack, but, you know, in its own time.
It's never quite enough, though, is it?
No, but we can't get too greedy.
Can't we?
We'll lose the favor of the people who adore us.
And that's the last you hear about that. So, what is Diana doing at the speakeasy?
Diana has probably actually performed on the, like, I guess, mortal side, like
The
the
regular
upstairs
speakeasy?
side,
Yeah.
the regular speakeasy as well. She kind of pulls like double shifts where like she starts off upstairs and she's well known in that scene as well as the kindred side of things. So at this point in the evening, I would say she's just finished performing upstairs and is on her way down to perform for fellow kindred at this point.
Okay. Yeah, so you finish up your set. Seems kind of standardish Saturday evening. For some reason, this particular speakeasy bucks the trend of kind of the downtown core of Toronto, and it is more busy in the weekend times, Friday and Saturday nights, than it is busy during the week, because usually kind of a lot of the kind of bars and gastropubs and such like that are more busy during the week with Bay Street and stuff like that going on downtown. That there's more of a hustle and bustle of people getting off work during the weekends. It's less of that. People are on their way out of the city to go to their suburban homes. This is kind of a standard Saturday night. It's not super packed, but it's definitely kind of standing room only. You get enough tips and stuff like that it makes it easily worthwhile. As you're making your way down to the sub basement of the speakeasy, I'm going to get everyone to give me a roll from the book. Let me see what I'm getting you to roll. Let's go with a wits and insight.
Oh, lovely.
And if you feel like you need more dice on the roll, you can do a rouse check, which would make you hungrier potentially, and you get 2 extra dice on the roll.
Because I got hungrier, do I have any red dice or?
Not yet. Like, yeah, you would have to do an additional rouse check to.
One red die in the pool, though. Base.
Yeah, but you would have 2. Yeah, you'd have 2 red dice in the pool because she's currently at 2 hunger.
Oh, great! This is not going to end well for me.
4 successes.
4 successes.
3 successes.
Okay, I'm gonna do a. I'm gonna. I can't. And I succeed on it, and it's.
Sorry, can't quite hear you. I think that needs to be.
Sorry, hold on.
No worries.
Sorry. Okay, so I succeeded on the rouse check. That's 2 extra dice. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So you'd add 2 extra black dice to your pool.
Great.
And anything 6 and above is a success. Anything 5 and below is not.
just want to double check something very quickly.
Take all the time you need. And if you're watching at home, buy our merch.
3 successes? Three
Three
successes.
successes? Okay. So just double check. Ellie 4 and everyone else had 3 successes.
Yes.
Okay. So when Diana comes down, everyone else is kind of milling about doing what it is that you do. Barker's at the door, making sure that the only people that come in are either ghouls or associated with kindred. Eloise is probably at the bar or in a booth going over a little bit of financial work. And Ellie is people watching, leaning up against the bar, maybe smoking a cigar. You get a definite feel of unease because you've had 3 or more successes for everybody. There's almost an intangible, not tension, but it's getting there feeling from the various kindred, and it takes you all a couple seconds when you finally kind of hit in on that to realize that the bar patrons are kind of not. It doesn't even look like it's intentional, but they seem to be kind of separating themselves into clusters of Camarilla and Anarch or unaffiliated. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any fighting that breaks out. It just seems like this might be kind of a microcosm of what you're getting the feeling of is happening in the city itself.
I think Eloise is going to head over to Barker at the door once she notices this.
Okay.
And she's just going to say, "This doesn't seem right. It's is there something that I should know about? I mean, I've been kind of swamped with my work, but is there something going on outside that I should know about that's, filtering in here?"
Miss Trent, you got me. My nose is wiggling tonight, but I could not tell you what's up. It's feeling a little more tense than it usually does.
The factions usually don't kind of.
They all know that
It's neutral here.
yeah, the cloak is a safe space. It's a neutral territory, so they usually mix and mingle. I'm really hoping it doesn't turn into any kind of a fractious sort of going on.
Well, do you have your extra staff on tonight, or do you need me to make some calls just in case?
I could go check with the boss. I think we've got. I know I saw Barry in the back, and we've got the girls on the counter. I think we're going to be well staffed enough, but I mean, and it's not a packed night. But if it goes a little south, it can go a little south pretty quick.
All right.
But yeah, no, I'd appreciate you being a little extra watchful. That'd be good.
And it's about that time Diana comes down in that particular area from the upstairs.
So the vibe upstairs is just a regular vibe, right? It
Yeah,
doesn't have anything.
it's mostly like I'd say about 95-ish% just regular mortals upstairs. There's the odd kindred here and there that are mingling in, but for the most part, the odd kindred kind of shows up and then makes their way down into the downstairs area.
So when I come down, I feel like a stark contrast in the tension in the air.
Yeah, and it's basically at the tail end of that particular conversation between Barker and Eloise.
Okay, so I'm gonna I guess when I enter, Barker will be there.
Yeah.
He's the bouncer, and I'm going to walk over and I'm going to say, "Good evening."
Miss Chambers. Good seeing you. How's the crowd upstairs? Are they feeling their oats or are they doing
Yeah,
okay?
I mean, they're the usual audience up there, you know. Nothing of note. Definitely not the same vibe as here. Is everything okay down here?
That's what I'd like to know. I mean, I haven't heard any musings of any kind of stuff going on in the city that shouldn't be right now, but either way, they all know that this is not the space for that stuff. It gets left at the doors. So I don't know what's going on. Um, you know what? I'm probably gonna to talk to Ali and see if he knows anything and maybe call some extra security because maybe we could use some of our gangrel buddies in here. What do you think,
I
Barker?
had
Yeah,
Yeah.
too many hands never spoils the soup, really. I mean,
All right.
as long as they're listening, I'm always up for having a few extra friends.
Well, okay then, Barker, you take care of Diana. We wouldn't want her getting hurt. Um,
No, 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 can't have our gorgeous little canary getting in a conniption.
Absolutely not. And Eloise is gonna
um,
walk away and let them have their conversation.
I had a thought. Like I wanted to share this with Eloise before she left.
Oh, sorry. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I had a thought. Do you think it's just a problem here? Like I imagine other speakeasies where kindred hang out. Like maybe we should reach out to other speakeasies in the area and see how the vibe is there. If it's a symptom of a bigger problem, maybe friends in other speakeasies might know. Do you
Well,
think we should?
it's worthwhile. I mean, we probably want to take care of home base first and then reach out, but I'll definitely put in some calls and we'll see what's going on.
It
And
might help us get a bigger picture, you know?
yeah, Eloise is gonna uh, take her phone, walk towards Ali and let Barker and Diana have their conversation.
All
Do
right.
you really think there's something dangerous that's about to happen?
Well, if it turns into a riot, just head towards the back. I mean, that way you got a whole lot of bodies between you and whatever is going on.
That's probably the smartest. That's
Yeah,
probably the smartest thing to do.
yeah, get behind the bar with the girls. I mean, though they can be pretty abusive themselves if the situation warrants it. But you're one of our money makers upstairs, so we can't threaten the jingle jangle too much. The boss would really not be pleased with me if you came to a bad way.
I wouldn't dare do anything that would put your job in jeopardy.
Oh, and it wouldn't just be
Um,
my job too. I mean, I'd feel pretty morbid about it myself.
well, I'd like to think that we're friends, so we'll just have to keep an eye out for each other tonight. I really don't like the way this feels, and it makes for a really uncomfortable working environment.
Yeah, when you're fighting against that kind of a feeling, I mean, it doesn't matter how much you lay on the pipes, it's going to be kind of rough around the edges. And I can see where you wouldn't enjoy being up on the stage when this kind of stuff is going on.
It's a really tough crowd tonight, tougher than I've felt in a long time. I'll go see what I can do up there, and she points towards the stage. I'll
Yeah,
see you later, though.
that'd be good. Yeah, I'll be around and about here, so I'll be keeping an eye.
Thank you. Take care.
It's at that point.
And Diane will go towards the stage.
Okay. As Diana makes her way towards the stage, Eloise would be coming over to Ali at this particular point.
Hey there. How's it going tonight?
Another night.
Do
There's
you get
some weird going
yeah.
around here.
Yeah. Has anything been going on that I'm not aware of, because I know I've had my head in the books the past few months, but I didn't think it had gotten that bad.
I mean, I've been keeping my eyes open for anything out of place, but so far, everything seems just normal enough to know that something strange is going on. If you get my drift.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean it's a little upsetting that they choose to bring whatever that is down here, neutral ground and all that, but
I think there's something bigger going on than that. It's too convenient, if that makes sense.
do you know any of these of the ones that have split off here? Because these faces, they're uh I know some of them, but there's a lot of new faces here. Is there anybody that you know that, usually isn't here?
Would I, storyteller?
Give me a wits and awareness roll. Let's see how this one turns out.
So I have a question for you on this. Since I've been sitting here for a
Right.
little while, I've been mostly just investigating what's happening. Maybe not
Okay.
hands on, but could I roll this with investigation since I've been people watching for a
You
while?
can.
All right. That's 6, I think. Yeah. And I'm going to blow some willpower. Yes, I think I will.
And for everybody new to Vampire, if you spend willpower after a roll, if you don't think you quite got enough successes, you can re-roll up to 3 black dice.
So yeah, that is going to be 4 successes.
4 successes.
Yep.
There seems to be a lot of the same sort of people, but a lot of the newer faces are the ones that seem to be the most tense.
Hmm. Is it too loud in here for me to heighten senses and just try to listen in on some of these conversations?
No. Yeah, it's like with the situation of it being like kindred and ghoul,
Mm-hmm.
um, there's a lot less white noise around. So yeah, you'd probably be able to pick up on certain things. And the music down in this particular area is generally a little more subdued than everything else. And Diana hasn't made it to the stage as of yet to start up her set,
I
which would probably affect it.
Yeah.
I imagine it's like super soft, like jazzy vibes, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's how I imagine it.
yeah, kind of like a 1920s ish kind of low jazz music vibe.
Yes.
So you're kicking
Perfect.
in heightened senses.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm specifically trying to listen in to new people who have sort of gathered together here to see just to listen to what kind of sort of things they're talking about.
You focus for a few seconds and open your sense of hearing, and you can hear kind of a. So, are we gonna do it now? No, we're gonna wait. Hold off a sec. And then from another part, you can hear. Man, I wish they would actually just do something. Like this waiting is intolerable. Like it's supposed to happen now, right?
Uh, and upon hearing this, um, I'm just going to go up to one of these groups, and I'm just like, just you see, Eloise, you just see Ali get up, stand up, walk right over them. So, what's happening now? Do y'all have some particular plan to shake things up tonight?
Oh, nothing. Yeah, we're just
No,
we're
no, it's too
waiting.
late for that.
We're waiting for like they, there's somebody we're supposed to be meeting here.
Yeah, but it's too convenient that you and them over there both seem to be waiting for something.
But
Yes, the whole lying thing is just going to make this really, really difficult. So just be honest with me.
yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Like,
Okay, this is the way we're going to play it. And Ali walks away, and I go over to Barker, and I say, "We can't let Diana get on stage. And there's about to be a fight or some sort of fuckery. And those guys over there, those guys over there, are about to try to do something real stupid."
Storyteller,
that's me.
did Eloise, before we move into the next set of scenes and stuff, did Eloise hear the conversation between Ali and that kindred?
Oh, Ali was not trying to be stealthy about that
Okay.
at all.
So in that case,
Yeah.
Eloise is going to walk up to that kindred, and she's going to use mesmerize. So
I knew you would.
Yeah, you probably did. So
I was very tempted to use compel, but I only have one dot, and I am not very charismatic.
It's all good. So rouse check first. I failed that rouse check, so I'm at 2 hunger now.
So what does your sire sound like?
My sire is an old school, like, basically financier. He's basically was my husband's partner, and he's just kind of gruff but to the point, and he's, money is really his only concern.
Say Don
ever.
Draper. It's fine. You can say that without us getting in trouble.
He could be. Oh, I know he could be. Yeah.
Hey, Eloise. Should probably.
Oh fuck! Shut up! Not now. Hey.
I don't know. Like, you don't have to dominate him and get into a scrap or whatever. Just
look.
It's more efficient money wise and risk
if I eat him
wise if you just eat him.
Yeah, I know. You and I have had this discussion. I know it's a better idea. I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't disagree with you, but he's not rich enough. Look at him. He is not rich enough. Come on. I'll eat. Don't worry. I'll find somebody. I'm sure there's somebody upstairs, but I just got to deal with something right now. So can you let?
Only affects you if you're chewing off one of the juice bags.
Yeah, but it still doesn't taste right. It still got that kind of that tang, it just doesn't taste right.
Tang is a kick in the glass.
It doesn't taste right, so I'm gonna yeah. If you let me deal with my stuff, I'll eat later. Okay.
That is the last you hear about that.
Okay, so manipulation, and I'm gonna actually, now that I failed that rouse check, I'm gonna actually rouse my manipulation because I failed that again. So I am now at 300.
So anyway, you should just eat them. What is either you eat them now, or you're gonna get to the point where you're like, the risk, the supply and demand of blood.
Eddie,
really
Eddie. Let me do my thing, because otherwise neither of us is going to make it out of here. Okay? Cool? Cool? Yeah? Okay.
Fine.
Manipulation, so that's...
Well, you won that one. I dare say you probably didn't even need to rouse your manipulation.
Damn you, storyteller.
But it was fun. I'm not going to tell you the difficulty before you roll. Where's the fun in that? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, she's counting a lot. Yeah, she totally blasted this one out of the park.
6 successes.
Yeah, I kind of figured. What are you mesmerizing them with? What is the command of dominate that you're using?
Tell me what's about to happen. Tell me what you're up to right now.
Oh, we're not up to anything. We're just anticipating that those guys over there are going to start a fight in the middle of this particular club. So we were sent here by the prince, and we were told that we were supposed to keep them from yeah, fighting and stuff. Engage them in a fight if necessary, but I'm
The
just a
prince,
Ventru. I'm not. I don't know what's supposed.
the prince sent you to my bar to start a fight?
No, to finish the fight that other people started. There's a difference.
How did you know they were going to start a fight?
The she's a Nosferatu.
Look, you go back and you tell that Kmart prince of ours that she needs to remember that this is a neutral place. She can't be doing her stuff down here. She can't be playing her little games down here. That's not what we're about. Understand?
Are you making that a dominate command?
No. That part I'm not making a dominate command. I know better.
I will get a manipulation and either persuasion or something else. Let's go with a. Actually, there's a bunch of them that could apply. You could either do your choice: manipulation and etiquette, intimidation, persuasion, or streetwise.
We're going to go with persuasion.
Dealer's choice on that one.
Persuade.
Because you're dealing out the disciplines.
That would be 7 successes.
7-6. Yeah, they're like, well, all right, fine.
Out.
Yeah,
Out now.
all right, all right. We're going. But if they start anything,
Oh, we'll deal with them next.
right. All right, come on. And it, like, 3 people follow him as he leaves, walking right past Barker. Barker, are you doing anything, or are you just letting him go?
Last I heard, I was heading to the stage to.
Okay.
So I was away from the door.
So your replacement, because there'd probably be like a kind of a nod, and
Yeah.
somebody else would come in. Your replacement just lets them walk on by, and they're like, "All right," kind of
Yep.
nodding at Eloise. So, it's pretty much at that point that Barker would have made it to where Diana is kind of going through the final stages of prep to making sure, like, doing a quick sound check on the mic, making sure the band is, kind of ready to go. It's kind of a smaller band. It's, like the one small drum set. There's like the guy on the bass. Nothing overly fancy because it's kind of a subdued atmosphere in the sub basement.
Yeah. So on the way past the bar, because I need to top up, and I'm a bagger, so I'm good with it chilled on in a glass. I'm gonna kind of tap on the bar and go, Mary, love, could you set me up a rich red, please?
Yeah, and
Thank you. I'll scoop it on the way back,
All right.
and then I'll head up to the stage and just slide onto the stage, come up behind Diana and just take her by the elbow and say, could we just exit over to the stage left? We don't want to start anything yet. And just look at the band members and just kind of just keep it down real quiet.
They nod, and they're like kind of, the bassist puts the bass on the stand, kind of, they kind of congeal together and move off to the one side.
As I see this happening, can I do a thing?
You can.
So, I find someone in the bar and I'm like, do me a solid. I know you like to get up there and just riff. So go do this like it's an open night thing.
Sweet. Awesome. I've been waiting to do this. And then the person who has They kind of have like the. It looks like they were embraced in the 70s and they didn't quite progress out of that, so they've got the collar that is like super large.
Mm,
And they get up on stage and they start just. This hurts Diana to her core because you're a Toreador. And
Oh no!
this is the absolute worst slam poetry you've ever heard.
I'm going to look at Barker and I'm gonna say, "What the hell is going on, dude?" And then,
I
um,
don't. I don't know. I don't know what the hell he's doing up there.
I'm going to. Oh no! Wait, that's a bad idea. Hmm.
I'm trying to focus the anger on someone who is not any of us.
um, I would say you all have actually been part of a coterie long enough that you would kind of recognize like this. The first reaction you had was like a visceral, like, what the hell is this? But then you're like, you kind of look over to Allie, and Allie kind of gives you like the, and you
Look,
kind of realize that
so,
okay, this has kind of happened before, and
so Diana just looks at Ali like it's the same look she gives him all the time when this happens, and it's just why? But then she's kind of just like, "Ah." That resigned look of just like, I accept this. This happens, and she'll go wherever Barker is trying to um, usher her.
Yeah,
Um,
just kind of. Yeah, I'll do the same thing after staring at the stage for a moment. Kind of look over, note where he came from, and Ellie, and just kind of go, uh, one of those. Okay.
and then
And just look at Diana and say, it works. I don't know how he pulls it off, but
Nice.
the bar. And head over to the bar
oh,
where there should be a glass waiting for me.
there is indeed a glass waiting for you. It's AB negative. Has a little.
Excellent.
It has the Barker in marker with an underscore on it, like little Starbucks cup with a straw.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Wow.
is it like the plastic like cold cups from
Yeah, the
Starbucks?
cold cup thing around it. Yeah. It
Well,
may actually say Barker. It may say Baker. You're not quite sure.
Hmm.
They could have spelled it wrong, even though you've been there like forever. Yeah, so you go over to the bar that is waiting for you, and it's probably at that point that Eloise and Ali would be making their way. I'm assuming to the other people that Ali heard.
Yes.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yes. 100%. So I'm guessing we're walking over and looking at them, and Eloise is going to say, so, Little Bird told me that you're planning on starting a fight. Want to tell me why?
No.
Don't deny it. I heard every word you said. Y'all were waiting for a fight.
Come on, man. Like, we're not starting
You
a fight.
know what I do. Everyone here knows what I do.
Yeah,
I
we know
watch
what you do.
and I listen. And I was listening.
Look, man, we were sent here by the Anarchs.
What anarchs?
The Anarchs under Drake. Not that Drake, obviously. But he's the Bruja from Scarborough.
Okay.
He just gave us a wad of money, told us to come here, pick a fight.
Well, now there's no fight to pick. So what are you going to do?
I guess we gotta fight somebody.
No. Don't make me do the thing.
What thing? Like I know you're like a PI.
And I think I would say for the coterie, y'all would know that Ali has a look that he gives people. He literally lifts up the eye sometimes, and a bit of light comes out of it, and people feel a little less inclined to violence when he does that. And he's like, it always freaks people out a little bit. Just don't make me do it. I mean, I could just have Barker make you leave. And I'm giving you the opportunity to chill the fuck out, take your payday, and walk out of here.
Yeah, but we gotta, we gotta start a fight.
Fine. And then Ali lifts up his bandana. And I sent you the Sword of Cain book on purpose for this, so I can use these Valorant powers. But this power is called Shepherd's Watch. And so people know the logistics of this. By focusing their will into a shield against harm, I cause my third eye to open and emit a golden light. Those in the immediate area are unable to initiate any cause of direct action that will lead to harm of those within the area without overcoming the will of the user. So it's a willpower versus willpower roll. And I have to make a rouse check.
Versus willpower.
Right? I pass my rouse check.
Oh, man. I was hoping to do the shovel-headed person again. Yeah, I think you won.
Let's see. Yeah, I got all successes.
Yeah, the difficulty on that was 1.
All right, cool. So what happens is my eye literally opens, makes a golden flash of light.
Everyone sees the golden flash of light go on them, and their eyes kind of like...
It's a 30-foot aura. Like, this is not something that people here will miss. And if they try to do something hostile, then, well, they can't.
Yeah, they got 1 success. They're just like...
I told you not to make me do the thing. I really don't like doing that. Leave now.
And they just slowly turn around and leave. And that clears out about 30-40% of the actual kindred that were in this particular
so everybody was feeling that hot damn. And there's just this 70s dude just bebopping up on stage right now.
Yeah. It is the very definition of slam poetry. Like, you feel like you're being slammed by listening to it.
Eloise looks at Elise, says, "Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm sure we all appreciate that. Now, I think I'm gonna go get that guy off the stage, if you don't mind. I'll be back." And Eloise walks up the stage and just starts clapping and says, "Let's give it up, everyone!"
But
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. I didn't catch your name. Oh, but you've done no. But okay,
I'm not finished. There's more. There's like,
oh, but
I've got
no,
another
you
30
can't follow.
pages.
You can't follow what you've done. What you've done has just been so amazing that you just can't absolutely follow. Everybody, give a warm hands.
I'm not done yet.
For this wonderful poet here. And next up is our amazing Diana, who will be singing you some wonderful, beautiful music.
I'm not.
I'll buy you a drink.
Can I walk up, like, to the stage to this guy? I'm going to attempt to convince him to leave the stage.
Okay.
And use my awe to do it. Like,
all right. So activating on.
It cost free.
It is free, yeah. So your manipulation plus your presence score versus their composure and intelligence.
Okay, here we go. So it's one red die for my hunger, right?
You were
Because
2 for hunger, I believe.
oh, two for hunger,
You've not
base
had a
one.
chance
All
to
right.
feed
So
yet. Yeah.
okay. So hold on. I know numbers.
My typical rolls are good to go for this particular evening, so I would suggest against rousing your blood to get
Um,
extra dice. Because I'm willing to bet you could crush him with just taking half. Taking half
yeah.
is also an option. If you
One,
put,
two, three, four, five successes.
yeah, that's
Wait, hold on.
probably a bit more than
Let
half.
me double check. I can't do that, right? Yeah, five successes.
5 successes? Yeah, you crushed him. He got 2.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna say, you know, it's tough being a performer,
Yeah,
tough putting yourself out there,
I know,
but
right?
you know,
Really is.
you just gotta keep grinding. You'll get another shot at this stage someday. You just gotta be patient. And I'll like usher him over to the bar, and I'll be like, you know what? Just grab a drink and put it on Diana's tab. And I give him a
Oh,
kiss on the cheek.
oh, thank you. And he still has the mic, which the cord was kind of dragging behind him. Because he,
And then she also says, "Here, let me take that. I'm gonna need that for
wait,
my turn."
and everybody, tip your waitresses. I'll be back next week, and you eventually get the mic out of his hand.
Yeah, just like, yep. Okay, and then I will take the microphone to the stage.
Eloise just looks at Diana and just mouths, "Thank you."
And I will start my set and feel a whole lot better because the
Oh yeah,
tension I imagine has gone down.
the
Yeah,
tension has gone down. Your set feels a lot lighter compared to the slam poetry about whatever it is he was yammering on about, which it's kind of like a 90s like alt rock band where it's like the words that they're speaking are in English, but when you mash them all together, the sentences don't make any sense. Like moist.
right. It's
Yeah,
funny.
I had to sneak in a
Um,
moist reference, some CanCon for you.
yeah, well,
Uh,
we got to fill our quota, right?
yeah,
Of CanCon.
and
Yeah.
somebody actually put in the chat examples: moist, Tea Party, Bush, not Bush X. Actually, it is
Tea
Bush
Party.
X in Canada. That's right. That's more CanCon for you. Because Bush was
We're
already the name
teaching,
of a band in the U.S. and the name of the, yeah, it's weird.
we're teaching people about Canada.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, so I will like shift the mood to more of like a light, jazzy
yeah.
sort of vibe.
Your backup band has joined you, and while you are on stage, someone comes down the stairs. It is a larger man that Barker would recognize. He is a kind of a representative of the prince, but not really. He is the Scourge, and his name is Samson. And he is a, a long, red-haired gentleman, and he is built like a brick shithouse. He's 6'2", like 300 pounds of just solid muscle. And he walks down the stairs, and each stair, it's kind of like an old wooden staircase, and you can kind of feel like it almost feels like each stair is about to give way underneath his feet. And he comes down, and he's like, Barker.
Mr. Sampson, good seeing you. What brings you here tonight? Just relaxing or?
Well, several reasons. I heard there's going to be trouble.
That gets taken care of. You know us. We like to keep a nice, quiet, relaxed environment where you can put your feet up and not worry about things.
Well, that's disappointing.
Oh, no. Come on in. Hey, take a load off. Have yourself a drink. Listen to the ever lovely tunes put out by Miss Chambers and
Yeah,
the
it is
backup.
That is pretty good. But
Yeah.
you're part of that coterie thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta talk to you guys.
Like all of us.
Yeah, but it can. I don't know. It's not super important.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to wait for Miss Chambers to get done a set. But other than that, yeah. I mean, we can. When you ask, we got the time for you. So
Yeah,
yeah,
just
if you wanted to go take your usual booth, I'll make sure that the lovelies run you over a couple of drinks, and we'll be with you in soon as she's done her set.
yeah, right. And he kind of wanders over to that particular booth that you pointed out that is quote unquote his, and someone's sitting there, and he just looks at them, and then they scamper off, and then he sits down.
Yeah, and I'll give a nod to the backup again, and just kind of like, yeah, Jimmy, thanks. I'll get you another time. And then I'll head over towards Eloise or Ellie. Are they still together?
Um, well, Eloise was taking or was trying to get that guy at the stage.
Oh
She
yeah.
probably would have come. She would have come down by this point and rejoined Ali at this point as well.
So I'm going to
Yeah.
drift over to the pair of them and go, you guys, and when she's done up there, Miss Chambers is going to join us. Mr. Sampson would like a word with us. I'm guessing he's got a job for us.
He's got a job for us.
Guessing he'd like a
Yeah.
word, and you know
Oh
what
no,
that
no,
means.
no, that's fine. It just, the fact that it's Prince got her little paws into our
Baron Drake was in on his side too, so this
yeah.
seems like someone is sending both of them information that violence needs to happen. Someone is sending that message to both sides.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe, yeah, and maybe, I mean, we're kind of Switzerland here with, a little more artillery than is normal for the place, but you'd be surprised actually what Switzerland's got up their sleeves. But Drake could have been moving in to try to, carve a peace, and the prince, had she countered and stopped them from getting a peace, well, then we'd owe her a peace. So, they're both trying, they're flexing. Yeah, Samson, you know what? Money's money. Boons are boons. I'm always willing to take trade.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? Why don't we head over once Diana's done and just deal with him together then?
Yeah.
Is everything okay, Barker, though? Like, do you think we've got things under control at this point, or do you still need me to call more people in?
I got a feeling that the lovely ladies at the bar are going to be a little miffed at the number of tippers that walked out. But some nights are like that. I don't think we need any extra muscle in at the moment. I think Jimmy and the boys and me, we're good enough. We'll have to see if Samson's wanting us to like go and do something like right now on the pronto. Because if he is, then yeah, we might want to call in one or two just to kind of back up. But if we've got if it's not a go running out tonight, sit up and bark because the prince has said, we got to do that stuff. Then I get a feeling the show's over for tonight as far as that goes. So yeah, we should be good. But thank you. It's always appreciated, Miss Train.
I mean, we want to keep everyone safe, right? So, yeah, you know what? While we're waiting, why don't I'm getting a little peckish, all this action. I'm gonna give the waitresses some extra funds, shall we say, and see if they can get me old school finance here. None of this freaking tech bros. Their money goes up and down whenever that crypto shit goes. Okay, I'll be right back. And Eloise goes over to the bar, throws some money down towards the waitress or towards the bartenders, and the barkeep and says, "This is for you and the waitresses. I know that's just a lot that's cleared out. Do you have a line on somebody in the more upper financial situation, so to speak, that I can have a little nibble on?"
Let me see what we got.
All right, cool.
And they
Bring
turn
'em
around, and then there's kind of, it's kind of like a classic kind of Cheers like bar where there's a bunch of like bottles behind them, but you all know that the bottles that are behind this particular bar are not anything related to alcohol.
Sure.
So they're kind of, you can see the back of their head. And they're like, this will do. And they turn around, they pour it into like a martini shaker. And they, add a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And you're not quite sure what all the ingredients are going into it, but then they start shaking it up for you. And then they like pour it into a martini glass for you, drop an olive in it, and slide it over to you. Yeah, I like to call this one not new money.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's beautiful. I am, you know what? Let me take a sip of this. And I mean, I'm assuming it's pretty fresh, right?
Yeah.
All right. Storyteller had a character. How does this affect the Ventrue's gullet if I drink the rich fresh man out of the martini glass?
There's only one way to find out.
Perfect. You know what? Right. Okay. Eloise is gonna, take a sip then.
All right. This is good. You weren't expecting it. You were like, okay, it's probably going to be cold. It probably won't taste all that great. But somehow, this is just not body temperature, but it's not like as cold as it usually gets when you just grab like a bag out of the fridge or whatever and start drinking it. And it tastes really good. Like, it almost tastes kind of like, maybe, is that a spice? You haven't tasted spice in a long time. Like, it could be peppery. You're not entirely sure what it is that you're tasting. Hey everybody, quick tech issue aside, we were just having a martini with the Ventru. There isn't the regular visceral reaction. Like, you've been a Ventru long enough that where it's like, if you're frenzied, if you accidentally drink from someone who you thought had your blood type in them, there's like a visceral reaction of expelling the blood. This does not invoke that at all, but there's spice to it. There's oomph. There is something extra in this blood, and you can't quite put your finger on it.
Oh, you have outdone yourselves.
I know.
Like,
I know.
you know what? And storyteller, I assume that only like one hunger.
It would, yeah, just one hunger.
Okay, so she's gonna put a nice colorful 100, colored money in Canada. A nice colorful 100
The
on
brown
the.
100.
Well, I mean, yeah. On the. Yeah, on the bar and say one more, please, and then I'm cutting myself off.
All right, and she turns around and prepares it. For Diana, when we had the slight tech glitch, you were mentioning that you would like to kick in heightened senses.
Yeah, like I would like to do that.
Okay, so give me a wits and awareness roll with 2 extra dice because you're using heightened senses.
Uh, How I have a perception specialty. I don't know if I did that correctly, but there's a specialty marked in there.
For
It's
perception,
Yeah, I put it in there. I don't know if it was correct.
for awareness.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Okay,
so that would add an extra dice to your roll. So it's
excellent.
basically your wits and awareness plus three extra dice. That's a lot of dice.
Let's see how well Diana. Oh, okay. Um. Okay. One, two, three, four. Okay,
That
that's
sounds like a lot.
four successes. I have a question.
Sure.
If there is a foe on my red die, is that a problem?
That is not a problem. The like anything on the red dice only really affects the roll if it is a 10 on the red dice and a 10 on the like one of your other dice. If
Yeah.
it's that at the same time, that is what's called a messy critical. But the way I run it is if you roll two tens as your regular dice, that is a crit.
Mhm.
But if in the way the rule book says it, if you roll even a one red 10 on a red dice, it turns it into a messy crit, which I think is kind of silly. So yeah, it only affects it if it's 10 or if you have no other successes, and then you roll
Oh,
a one
so
on the red dice. So yeah, you have four successes, so that doesn't matter. So yeah, you're able to tell that the rest of your coterie is kind of congealing in one particular area, and they seem to be having a conversation. And from what you can tell with your heightened senses of vision, uh, the the name Samson is being brought up, which you would recognize as the scourge of the prince.
okay. Official business. Gotcha. Okay, cool.
So you know, a couple more minutes pass. You finish up that particular song. Barker had given I believe, the kind of cut it off motion to the rest of the band. So the rest of the band kind of, finishes it up, puts the bass back on the stand. The drummer goes off to the bar to get a drink. And what are you doing, Diana?
I think once that, like, I figure it's something Barker does often. Like, it's a shorthand for something's going on, and I think Diana would just instinctively understand to end her set at the last song and do an outro and leave the stage.
Okay. And I'm assuming making your way over to the rest of the coterie.
I'll join the rest of the coterie,
Okay.
and I will say it looks like we have a meeting, huh?
Looks like. Well done, by the way. That was one of your better ones.
Yeah, I like to bring some of the old school jazz back again. The kids say it comes back around in 30-year cycles.
Yeah, everything does. I've seen it a lot at this
So have
point.
I multiple times.
Yes. No
And
one does
and
anything original.
as an artist, I can tell you that there's never truly anything original. It's just
I
the
am one of a kind.
recycling of old ideas.
All right.
Hmm.
Shall we join our guest then?
Yeah.
All right.
We're going over, I do have one question.
Okay.
So, well, just to the coterie.
Okay.
What happened when all of those people left? And she kind of gestures around the kind of empty part of this speakeasy.
I simply prevented violence. It was a bit of a preemptive action.
Oh, I didn't realize there was violence to be prevented. I guess that's the part I'm more curious about. Uh,
Yeah, I think we
I
all
know how you
are.
operate.
Apparently, the prince sent people to come in and stop the Baron's people who were trying to apparently start a fight on behalf of the Baron. And, it's all really not something that we like happening around here. But you know what? What they do outside of our building,
Not a problem
well, I mean, not our problem
No.
tonight. Not our problem
tonight.
tonight. Is at least, or hopefully not our problem tonight.
We'll find out, I guess. I mean, listen, one way or the other, we're going to get something more than we have right now once we go talk to Samson, I imagine.
Shame
Yep.
the Baron's not as fun as the other Drake. And she'll just walk towards Samson's booth.
All right. Is everyone else following suit?
Absolutely.
So, oh, there we go.
Sorry.
Who would be? Are you going to be all sitting at the booth, or are you going to just kind of crowd around his particular booth?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to suggest that. Well, it's a 4-person booth, right? Like, is it a big booth? Will it fit all?
It's kind of, yeah, you could all fit in very comfortably in the booth. It's kind of one of those, like, not super long tables, but you could probably fit like one person at the back and then 3 people on the other side from where he is sitting.
Yeah, I'd just sit down. I'm not too worried about him trying anything.
So, upon your all coming over, he kind of goes to stand up as kind of a sign of respect, and he kind of pushes the table over, even though it's bolted to the floor, and it kind of traps one of you on the other side, like, oh, sorry. And he kind of readjusts it, forcing it. You can hear, like, kind of the grinding of metal as he forces it back into place. Sorry, my bad.
The gods, man.
So, the prince sent me here. And you're going to find out about why when we come back from the break. So, go grab yourself a drink, hydrate, dehydrate, whatever you got to do with hydration. Pop some popcorn, grab a snack, and join us on the other side. We'll be back in about 7 minutes. So you have plenty of time to do all that. And we will see you then. Welcome back, everybody. And we are in Toronto and about to have a nice little sit down chat with our resident large scourge named Samson. That is just a lot of names in one fell swoop. All right. So everybody sits down at the booth, and Samson looks rather uncomfortable, kind of squeezed into the booth. He seems like he's kind of hunched over, but
I
he's not trying to be.
I have a question. Is it possible to like pull over a chair from like a nearby table for
Yeah,
them for
yeah,
Samson?
yeah. It's
I'm
not
just
like
gonna be like,
they're
I'm
on
gonna
risers
stand
or
up
anything.
from yeah, I'm gonna stand up from the booth and say, Samson, you look a little uncomfortable, and I'll just pull out a chair and
Oh yeah,
um
probably.
yeah, you
And
should
he
just
like
sit here.
kind of scooches out, but it kind of bends the table a little bit forward again. Sorry. And he like bends over and
No,
he
it's okay.
moves the metal back in place, and then he kind of does the
Yeah,
turn around the chair and sit down.
if you're gonna be a regular here, maybe we should accommodate, you know, have a
Yeah,
place
I'm a
for you
little
that will
bit
be a
on
little
the
more comfortable.
I'm a little on the large side.
Mm,
Yeah.
Eloise pulls out her phone and just makes a note of,
yeah.
fix booth, readjust, etc., etc., etc.
Well, it's good to see you as always. And then I will slide in where Samson is vacated and just like, sit quietly and
There's ever so
listen.
slightly a bit more space on this side of the table than there is on the other side of the table. It's almost like the metal that is holding the one part is kind of bent.
Oh
Like that.
no.
Yeah, it accidental. So right. Yeah, I'm really bad with names. Baker. All right, I was close.
Close. Close.
Eloise.
Eloise, yes,
Right.
close, close, so close.
Allie. Yeah, I remember that one because it's a short name. Diana. Yeah, you're
Yep.
singer. You're okay. Yeah, I got most of them. Half. You know, 50% ain't bad.
I'm
It's
Terrence to you, my guy. Just so you know.
oh, right. Terrence.
Or Mr. Light. You can use Mr. Light.
Right. Well, I'm not gonna call you Mister. Is it all right if I just call you Light?
I really don't care. What are you here for?
Right. About that. See, the prince has ideas. I don't think they're. I don't think they're great ideas.
Careful now, careful now. That can be considered
You haven't. You haven't
mutiny,
heard the ideas yet.
treason.
See, the idea that the prince has is to go around to the different peoples of the city. She got this idea from like some jackass named Siegfried in Vancouver, where it's like if we go around to there's different things, like we're vampires, right? But there are also like
I was like, that's not a serious question, is it?
no, it's an example. I
Okay.
think is that an example or is it a simile?
Just keep talking.
Right. So anyway, we're vampires, right?
Just okay, yes, yes, we are all in agreement. That's baseline.
Mhm.
But we're vampires, and then there's like other things that aren't human.
Yes, like werewolves and fey creatures and so on and so
Yeah,
forth.
changelings and zombie. Well, no, not zombies. What are they called? The ones that
I've actually heard that
mummies or
there are kind of
something.
zombie things depending on the clan.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, you're saying.
So, the prince got this idea from that Siegfried guy in Vancouver, where he made a deal with, I think, werewolves. So now, in order to solidify the city as the Camarilla, she wants to make deals with the other denizens types of the world of darkness thing. Yeah. Yeah. That's where you guys come in.
You
Uh,
promise to make nice with the werewolves?
Glad you said werewolves.
I mean,
No, I'm not.
no, neither am I.
She wants all of
what?
you to go to certain werewolves and talk with them.
So let me get this straight. You want us, the unaffiliated ones,
Yeah.
to go and negotiate with the werewolves
Yeah.
on the behalf of the Camarilla.
Yeah.
As opposed to on behalf of the Anarchs.
I mean, do you want to affiliate yourself with the Anarchs?
Remember what if do you know what unaffiliated means? It means that when we do work, we don't do it, for political shit, right? You need somebody killed. You need somebody, talk to. You need, some magical bullshit item retrieved from
Investigate
Casa
where
Loma.
something's come from,
Yeah.
look into who killed off who, those sort of things. But you now want us to negotiate with other supernaturals.
How
Yes.
much?
Great
How
question,
much?
Barker.
That's a good question.
Yeah. And the second question that comes along behind how much is what are our parameters? What do we get to sell from the Camarilla? What kind of how much of our word are you going to keep? If we go to the fuzzies and they say we want these parks and that chunk of downtown and all this shit, and we say, okay, sure, that sounds fair to us. We come back. Print's going to back it.
Maybe.
We're not doing this on maybes. If we're going to negotiate on your behalf, then we need the freedom to do it our way. You're going to have to trust that what we say is going to work for you.
There are certain parts of the downtown that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't
yeah,
give
yeah,
away.
yeah, yeah.
Obviously.
There's stuff that the Prince and the Camarilla
You
wants
lay
to
out
keep.
your parameters of stuff that you don't want touched. We get that.
Yeah.
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 But anything else, if you don't tell us that you don't want it to happen,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So how much? What's our cut?
See, this is where I'm saying it's not such a great idea, but I have to give you this information anyway. When I posed that particular question to the prince, she said, well, what do they want?
Oh, this can get good. Okay. And I'm not particularly keen on dealing with political bullshit. But how about this? One of the things I want is I want this square block, the one that my building is sitting on, to stay neutral.
Okay.
I want it to be neutral. So anywhere in this block, I don't want any more fighting. It's bad for business. I don't want any more bullshit politics. Also, bad for business. How about everybody else? What do you guys want?
Well, you and I have probably two different definitions of the word politics, but that's that. Okay,
You really don't want to do this, my friend. Not like this.
I mean, pretty much everything is kind of political.
Look, I want money. Lots of it. Honestly, this whole living for a very long time and being just around paycheck to paycheck is really not for me. And while I know Miss Trent here is quite loaded, I'm not one to ask my coterie for things.
Oh, if it's a matter of money, I'd rather I give you money rather than you be, beholden to the prince kind of
No, no,
thing.
no, not beholden.
There's no
Simply-
beholden in a paycheck.
I
Given.
want a couple million.
I'm pretty sure that can be arranged.
Excellent. And you stay the fuck away from my offices. You specifically and your cronies.
How about that neutral thing? Allie, if I get a block that's neutral, why don't you get a
I
block
like
that's
that.
neutral around
I
your
like
offices?
that a lot.
And Diana, I'm pretty sure the conservatory and all that U of T area probably do well with you having it and it being neutral for you.
Absolutely. I'm not a fan of
What
all
area
of
do you
that.
what area do you want to stay neutral?
That's actually something that I've considered, making a space for myself within the conservatory area. Um, would be nice to, maybe settle into a haven that isn't going to be bothered by anyone or anything. I think this is a great idea, Eloise, actually. Hey, I want my own neutral block. Sure.
Um, if I can interject, I'm not saying you're having bad ideas. I just think they can be expanded upon. Right? Like Allie, for example, where's your offices?
Honestly, I don't know. I've basically been treating my offices like Jessica Jones' apartment, and
Okay.
so
So
it's not in a
probably-
very nice place, essentially.
let's say like that seems like a place as a storyteller perspective that probably seems like a place that's either like West Queen West or Dundas West. Those are kind of like the same ish
Sure.
kind of areas of what you're describing. So let's say like Joe, do you have a map available?
Well, what are you looking for
'Cause I have a
precisely?
cat.
You're looking for like
Just like
hippish? Or are you looking for like
well, like
more
West Queen West down where the Queen streetcar would do the kind of loop-de-loop ish thing, like down where it kind of
That's a
breaks off to
totally-
like King.
Oh,
kind of area,
oh,
yeah.
oh. Okay, so Ronci.
Yeah, Ronci.
So you're looking for Ronci Hyde Park area. Okay, cool. Cool, yeah.
Yeah,
So you'd
it's-
basically be close to Dundas, close to Queen kind of thing. Roncesvalles has a lot of old buildings. The entire one side of the street, for historical purposes, the entire one side of the street doesn't actually have any stores. The other side of the street does, because of stuff that you can probably look up on Google, but it all has to do with, them not wanting rats from the stores and stuff like that into the actual buildings,
Perfect.
residential buildings. So the entire one side of the street is all residential. The other side of the street is like businesses and stuff. So,
Yeah,
but it's
so,
nice area.
So it'd probably be like a building like that. So Samson is looking at you and going, I think, if we kind of readjust your idea a little bit, like you've got this building here, and he like takes out his phone, pulls up a map, and he like kind of points at it. So it's like if it's this building or it's one of these buildings here, why not, just to protect yourself, say that you want it as your domain, and then he points out like kind of a 9 building block around your building, and then your building itself, and then say like this is all your domain, and then you get call over what happens there.
See, guys, this neutral shit is like dumb. Domain, while it's recognized by the Camarilla. See, if it's just neutral, it means the Camarilla keep their hands offshore. But are we then going to go talk to all the freaking barons and get them to agree to neutrality too? Because all you're doing with neutral is inviting the anarchs in to raise shit, and you got nobody to call because the Camarill's got to keep hands off. Domain gives you a little bit of muscle. I'm liking domain.
And with domain, to go along with Mr. Light's idea, that means that I as Scourge, I'm not able to really go there.
It's mine. It's mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Okay, I like this. I like the idea of
Yeah,
mine.
I mean, yeah, Barker, you make sense. I mean, all I'm looking for is to be left alone. But if calling it my domain, which I thought that might be a little too much for the prince, if that's going to make that happen, sure. Why not?
And then Diana can like have the...
I'm actually thinking maybe not so much a conservatory, like maybe some kind of like I live like right near Toronto, but I don't know this exactly. But like in the entertainment district, like
so
where
like
the
kind of King East-ish area.
Well,
There's
entertainment
or
would be
like-
King West.
King West.
Or King West.
King West and Richmond and Adelaide kind of area. Well, I mean, not so much anymore, but there's still like a lot of a lot of gastropubs and stuff like that on King West, or at least there were before pandemic.
There's
or wherever the theaters are.
King
Yeah,
West.
that is the
Mhm.
theater district. Yeah, King
Yeah,
West.
King West has like Mervish Theater and stuff like that, which used to have,
That's
I
it.
believe, Phantom of the Opera.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, come to think of it, I have an interest in the theater district actually. So if I could have a domain established in that area, I would be pleased as punch.
And then he kind of readjusts the map on the phone, and he's like, right, so like that Mervish place.
Mhm.
Then like take a little section around that type thing.
Around the Mervish Theater. I don't know
Ooh,
how
that would-
close the Royal Alexandra Theater is, but you know, like that would be where Diana would be interested in having a domain.
And Eloise turns to Diana and she's like, that would be perfect for you. I'd love that for you. That would be just perfect.
And
You know, I was thinking of expanding in the musical theater. You know, maybe the speakeasy lounges are, you know, they're okay for now, but I might want to grow as a performer. You know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
and then Eloise, you were saying you're building here.
Yep.
That
I want a 9-block radius. So yeah, you know,
that one's gonna be probably a little trickier.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like your kind, like the Ventru peoples, and then there's
how
like
about you make
there's other groups that are like big business in. I've heard that there's like some werewolf big business types.
Yeah. Okay, well, how about this? How about you make my building, which I already own, my domain so that the prince can't, well, I mean, I guess the prince can still screw with me, but so that I can't be screwed with in general, and so that my coterie has a nice quiet place in the city to actually be able to do our shit. And then you give me domain over the bridle path. Because, when I have my loud parties up there, loud parties, when I have my parties up there, I don't want any bullshit happening. So, I mean, I'd like that to be my domain.
I can bring it to the prince, but yeah.
Please do.
And Baker.
Barker, but you're close.
That was close.
Yeah, it's a letter. What's a letter between friends?
I'll get there eventually.
Yeah, I'm sure. And the friends, too, I imagine. A couple of centuries. Hey, what's time to us? I don't know. I mean, I'm not big on domain. I got domain. Nobody wants to be in the sewers.
I mean, the prince does.
Yeah. The prince can come down and discuss it with us. Hasn't happened so far. So, I don't know. I'm thinking I'd like to be introduced to a couple of people. Meet some influential folk, if you know what I mean. Particularly in the transportation field. Getting from point A to point B can't always be done in the sewers. I like to visit the High Park area from time to time. And doing that underground from down here, not easy. But if I knew the right people to be able to grab an Uber or a cab or something whenever I wanted to, then, so I'm thinking a little more nebulous than my compatriots here. While they want property, I'd like to be introduced to a few people and maybe, make some connections.
Some influence, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like a few more pies for my fingers to be in. So
All
to
right.
speak.
All right. I can bring it all to the prince. See if she's amenable to the situation. Give me a few minutes. And then
Oh,
he
yeah, sure.
gets
Take
up,
your time.
grabs his cell phone.
Oh, one more thing before you go, Samson. I haven't had this kind of access to the prince before. So here's the last thing that I want. I want the prince to send me all that information that the prince probably has on what happened to Arthur Trent in 1930. Because I know one of her people was behind it.
All right.
Any information at all.
Sure. He is very confused.
You know what I mean.
This all seems above his pay grade, the whole
he
thinking
really
part.
Doesn't.
and so Eloise just writes down Arthur Trent on a little piece of paper and hands it over to Samson.
Right.
Thanks.
I'll be back in a few minutes. And he goes out the door and takes his cell phone with him.
So, thoughts, everyone?
Well, I wouldn't have picked us for being the ambassadorial sort, but
This seems like a setup. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, something doesn't smell right.
You come in here with a open checkbook and request that we negotiate with supernaturals on your behalf, and there's something more behind this. Is this why us? Why this job?
Well, we do have a reputation for taking care of things in a certain very quiet and unassuming manner.
Diana?
Shit don't blow up all the time when we get involved. Not like a lot of other coteries that I could name that if something goes sideways, the first thing they choose is violence.
I mean, violence is a last resort, but I mean, I'm not against it if it's absolutely necessary.
Oh yeah, it's a choice. It's just that there are other options.
I mean, I'm all for other options. I feel something in my gut though. Like there's a piece of the puzzle we're missing for sure because why did like what 50 anarchs just show up at our doorstep? Like, why were they here? Like, how does that come into play with all this? Is it connected? Is it a different problem? Like, what is, I feel very unsettled and very uncomfortable with that side of it,
Now,
you know?
yeah, I got to admit, you might have something going there, Miss Chambers, because had they begun their little fracas and the prince's bully boy stepped in and settled them out for us, then the prince's left-hand man could have come in and said, hey, we did you this favor, now you're going to do us a favor and go
It
talk
would
with
have
these
forced
furries. So yeah, now did the prince set this up through Drake? Or I mean, there's only a certain level of paranoia that one can embrace before it starts to get a little silly. But some of these bigwigs, they move in weird little ways. So yeah, maybe. But you know what? If they're now willing to pay,
well, no, because like I don't understand the whole anarch side of whatever was happening tonight. And I feel really
I get a strong vibe
uncomfortable.
that we're probably going to find out.
We, I guess what I'm saying is if we're going to commit to something, we should wait until we find out.
Oh no. No, this is all for too good to pass up right now, I think.
yeah.
Because I think they don't expect us to get any of this done. And
I
so if
think
we do manage to, for whatever reason, then King's Ransom's right here.
I think you're right. Um, I also think that maybe we might want to kind of cover our butts and pay a little trip to our friendly Baron Drake and find out what he was up to. Find out who was the little what was it? It was damn it, Tolkien Worm Tongue. That was it. Yeah, I think Worm Tongue. Yeah. Anyway, high fantasy or whatever. All the kids liked it, and it was this guy who like whispered things into some guy's ear or something like that. Anyway, I found it to be kind of an interesting thing because it's kind of a reflection of our own politics over here. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, maybe somebody's been whispering in the Baron's ear, and maybe the Baron doesn't even know what he's doing. Maybe we should find out who that whisperer is.
Or find out
Okay.
what the Baron was doing and why he was doing it. We just
That's
go pay a friendly little visit and have a chat.
Yep.
okay. That sounds like the best way to go. I see the benefits of doing this job and accepting the offer. I mean, what do the rest of you want to do? Is this a yes from everybody?
I think if we don't all agree, then we shouldn't do it. I
No,
mean,
absolutely. That's why I'm asking. Is everybody else saying yes?
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm
I'm in
liking
if
the
everybody else
payoff.
is. Yeah.
me, I say yes if everyone else is doing it. Like I'm not going to be the person that's like, no, we're not doing it, and
Well, I
stopping the
mean,
train.
Diana,
If
if
we're,
you think that we should wait on this, then I mean, I trust your judgment, so it's up to you.
I am mostly just. I would prefer that we have the bigger picture before we say yes, But if everyone's comfortable, everyone else is comfortable with saying yes, then, you know, if we really need to speed up the process, um, I will also say yes.
Well,
Like if it's, do you
what
think
kind of
we could afford?
loophole? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just wondering, do you think we could afford to go to Fair and Drake and figure stuff out on that end before we say yes, or do you think this is a we say yes tonight?
I have a feeling
Yeah.
that Mr. Sampson's out there, talking with the prince
Negotiating.
right now, getting the signature on the checks. So I got a feeling it'll be a yes tonight. And I don't know how long it would take to run this straight guy to ground. Anarchs can be a little shifty.
Okay.
Also, I tend to think that anarchs don't have as much to give.
No.
Sure. I wasn't
Yeah.
necessarily saying we look for a better deal, just, like a better understanding of what the hell is going on. But I guess maybe.
If the prince went through something to hit Drake to play us, it didn't work. The game fell apart. So she's got to buy it now. So if we find out she tried to play us, she's still paying the tab.
True. Might as well take the paycheck.
Or
Fair
we
enough.
just
Exactly.
bail and we say, hey, we're not doing this shit for you and we don't want to work for you. And we've been damn good at doing what we do.
Yeah, but I don't want to piss off any of the big boys
Oh, no,
because
no,
I
no, no,
like
no,
I
no.
like coming above ground.
Yeah. No, the point is not to piss them off, but uh, if we find out we're getting played, then I feel just fine stepping away from this.
Well, I mean, here's the other option. If we ask for something so big that the prince can't promise it to us right away, then maybe we buy ourselves another day.
You're not wrong.
Like, what can we ask for that the prince can't guarantee right away? That the prince would have to get some agreement from,
Well, given all the things we just asked for, I'd have a feeling that this might not go all that well with some of the primogen.
Probably not. There are probably some Camarilla Ventry who are going to be really pissed.
How likely is it that the prince is gonna be able to sign off on all of this right away? I mean, those are some significant portions of the city that we're asking for.
Well, I mean, another significant hunting ground in the city is the university, because there are people coming and going by the thousands. If we ask for the university, she can't give it to us. There's no way that she can give it to us. I'm pretty sure that is split up into pieces already. I mean, I don't know the specifics. Actually, storyteller, do we know the specifics at all, or of how it's kind of split up?
You would assume that the university, or pretty much anything like that is like kind of Bloor-ish area like that is basically part of the rack, which is kind of considered Camarilla communal hunting grounds. You are muted.
Sorry. So asking for the university is probably something that she can't give us.
She could give it to you, but that would
Maybe
really take a hit on her politically.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that would cause someone else to call for praxis on you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could ask for it. We know that she's going to say no. We could buy ourselves another day.
We going to be able to run right down in a day and find out what's going on in a day?
Yeah, I don't know what he'll be able to decide in a day.
Yeah.
I mean, we can certainly give it a try. I think we're asking for a lot right now. Not in a bad way. I think this is good. But if she says
We can
yes
have him.
instantly to all of this, even that would make me pause.
I mean, that's fair. You are asking for, pretty.
Several city blocks.
Yeah, we're all asking for a pretty significant area. So, yeah, I mean, we can leave it as is and just wait for the answer from the prince and see where we go from there.
I suspect it will take more more time than we think for the prince
Also,
to clear
what the
those
shit
areas.
will Drake know about any of this anyway? We can go talk to him and see what happens regardless.
That's true.
Sure.
No, I was just curious why he sent a whole bunch of his people to our neutral spot. Like there's
A
something there
flex.
that doesn't feel right.
Someone is shooting both of these sides something funky. They want to start something.
No, like I am picking up what you're putting down. Um, I just that's why I think we should dig further. I just
Oh,
don't know
yes. This
what
is this
timing.
this will be investigated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, a couple minutes later, after this particular conversation ends, the Scourge comes back. And he's like, so, she's thinking about it.
Okay.
She said give her a couple hours, but a couple hours pretty much goes until like sunup at this point.
So how long do you think we really have, Spencer? How much of a wait do you think we really have?
She'd probably be able to get back to me by tomorrow.
Okay. And then say she signs the checks and the deal is inked. Then uh are you just gonna like let us shoot our shot? We're just gonna kind of go out there and see if we can find us some shape changers?
Well,
Or
we know where.
you got some names or
Yeah, I
places?
think she's got names.
Okay.
Part of the reason I think she wanted to come to all you is Mr. Light is like an investigator type. So yeah.
One of the best artists.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
I said he's one of the best out there.
Yeah. That's what I keep hearing.
I normally do the investigating part, not the talk to, make peace with. Usually, when I'm investigating, I'm usually tracking someone down that needs to be caught for something, or has done a lie, or I'm going to send trouble their way after I found them. This is a little different. So I suspect you're also leaning on the abilities of those from Miss Trent and Miss Chambers here.
Yeah. This tech glitch brought to you by our merch store. You can buy our merch store over there. Anything from our merch store is available on Threadless. So let's go back into that particular scene.
So, Barker, Ali, you have access to the 11th floor. There's been some new data that's been scraped, so it's at your disposal. I don't know if it's going to help or anything like that, but anything I can do or any interns that I can send your way, you let me know, right?
Certainly can't hurt. And yeah, absolutely. I'd personally like to keep my feet on the ground and be a part of the madness, but a little data to look over always helps.
Yeah. Do we know where this Drake calls home? What part of Toronto he's staked his flag on?
As a storyteller note, you would in fact know that. He is kind of building up a power base in around the Scarborough area. Seems to be oddly centered around the Scarborough Bolorama.
Is he actually like the Baron there, or is he just
He's the Baron there.
okay? So he's the Baron of Scarborough. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that.
He's a
Yes.
Baron of Scarborough. Yes.
A Baron. Oh, that's true. Scarborough is
Scarborough's
not
pretty
small.
huge.
It's pretty huge.
So Samson is still here, I'm assuming.
Samson is still there, yeah.
Okay, so so friends, should we send Mr. Samson on his way to have his little discussion with our prince?
Yeah, we don't need him here. He can come back when he has actually useful
Yeah.
information.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna go.
Right. All right. Thank you for your time. Grab a drink on your way out. Yeah. Tell the barkeeps that they can put it on Eloise's tab.
Not really my style.
Up to you. The offer's there.
And he proceeds to exit.
Before we leave, I'm going to grab a bite up on the mortal level.
Alrighty. Let's fast forward through all of that. What is your hunger rating at?
My hunger is at 2.
Are you just taking one, or are you taking?
I'm
both?
just taking 1.
I have to check. So, is anyone else doing any feeding? If you have any hunger above 1 that you want to take care of.
I should be at
prefer-
1.
Yep, I'm at 1.
I'm not here trying to make things unnecessarily messy.
Diana, are you going to be partaking?
I'm at 1. I'm feeling okay. We'll see how this goes tonight.
Okay. So, where is the coterie headed from here?
Straight to the Baron.
I think Eloise will get a car brought around. Nothing flashy. Probably just like
Oh yeah,
SUV or something like that.
I do have a car.
Ah, okay. Let's get Allie's car then.
I was going to say a Chrysler LeBaron for the
Actually,
Eloise.
I have a 2001 BMW M5.
Nice.
It might be a little bit tight in here for y'all because it is a sportsy car, but yeah, everyone will fit. It's only 4 of us.
We're all close.
Yeah, let's do it.
So you're making your way over to the Scarborough Bolorama?
Absolutely.
It's going to take probably, even at this time of night, the streets are fairly empty. You can make your way over there inside half an hour from where you currently are. You just hop on the DVP, I believe, bounce over, and the Scarborough Bolorama is a place that is interesting. It is. There's bowling. There's neon bowling. There's like, if you walk in, there's a definite smell. Smells of rental shoes and
Smells of Scarborough.
Wow, harsh. It's an interesting place. There seems to be a fair chunk more people here than there really should be at about 1 in the morning. seems like it doesn't really seem like a place that should be this populated at this particular point in time in the evening. Gonna get a wits and awareness roll from everyone, unless you want to do some other means of detecting whether or not you're dealing with the kindred types.
I absolutely do want to use my powers to check that.
That'll
Yep.
be wits and aspects for anybody using those.
Actually,
particular powers.
I'll be using Sense the Beast.
That would also work. That is a power
Um,
in Vancouver by night that we haven't used in a long, long time. So
I had
Would-
none of that, so I'm just going to use wits and
would heightened
awareness.
senses help? I don't know if it
heightened
would.
senses would help.
Okay.
So give me a wits and awareness and add 2 dice to it.
Well, I'm going to
Sense the
definitely
beast.
burn some willpower right now.
Resolve in animalism versus their composure and subterfuge.
I'd rather do Wits and Awareness. I have more dice there.
Wow.
Oh, hey, wait, no, that's a good roll.
One of them senses supernatural. The other just
Yep.
kind of gives you a vague, like, okay, maybe,
Yep.
maybe they're vampires. Maybe. Grab some dice out of the old Mikhail Artoria dice box.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, it's fairly
One.
passable.
So I burned a willpower and I still only have 1 success. This is a really great roll for me.
I'm impressed.
So what was the thing? Remind me again. What was the thing about messy criticals?
Messy critical would be if you have a 10 on a regular dice and a 10 on one of your hunger dice.
What happens if it's a 10 on 2 hunger dice? It doesn't matter, does it?
Still a messy crit.
Yeah, it's still a messy crit.
Okay, cool.
And the 10s turn into
Big
two,
double.
two successes for each one.
Okay, cool. So it's 8 successes and a messy crit.
You're starting to get kind of rumbly in your stomach area. Like it almost feels, because I believe that it puts you at 3 hunger now.
No, she was at 1, so back to 2.
Oh, then.
Yeah.
Wait, how did you roll 2 hunger dice then?
No, because you told me to roll 2 earlier. It was
No,
Oh,
it'd just be
okay.
one.
One.
In this case.
Yeah, it should have just been 1.
So it'd still be a messy crit.
Yeah, it'll still be a messy crit.
okay.
So yeah, you start to get a little bit hungrier. That this will put you back up to 2. It kind of feels like your stomach is trying to kind of wind its way around your spine. Like it's like you're definitely that hungry. And you hear in the back of your voice like, "Oh, Diana, you should probably eat someone, but not here.
Oh, definitely not here.
Not
Definitely
here.
not here.
No.
No. Soon.
Yeah.
Soon, my dear.
Yeah. Because, ew.
We just have a little bit of business. Just a little bit of business.
And
Hang
then,
in there.
Then eat. Yeah.
Okay. Before bedtime. Before bedtime, we'll get a little snack.
And that's the last you hear about that. So you had 8 successes. With your just wits and awareness, you kind of kick in your heightened sense of vision, and you can kind of tell that there's a lot of people in this crowd that aren't blinking necessarily, and they don't seem to be. You can tell that their chest isn't moving when they're having conversations with people. So there's a few kindred in this particular crowd. For Barker, Sense the Beast, 4 successes. You definitely know that there are a lot of kindred here. There's the vast majority of the people aren't kindred, but they are kindred connected. There's maybe out of the like several dozen people that are here, 5 or 6 that are not, and they're kind of in a separate party having their own little bowl fest and seem oblivious to the fact that there's they're surrounded by vampire-ish predators. Eloise, did you wits and awareness, or was it something else?
Yeah, I only had one success. It was wonderful. It was beautiful.
There's a lot of people here.
There's bowling happening.
Maybe it's like, yeah, maybe it's the sound of like the kind of several arcade games that are there, the pinball machines. But yeah, there's a lot of bowling noise. You're like, okay, I don't know why you would hang out here. This seems like a bowling alley.
Eloise is kind of like lifting her feet up and like looking at the red sole of her shoe and kind of like, oh, so sticky. I should have changed my shoes, damn it.
Let's see. I'm just double checking the chat here. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, so I think we should what's our strategy here? Are we going good cop, bad cop, or are we just going here aggressively? You two are the talkers. It looks at Eloise and Diana. It's like, I'm not very charismatic. I'm just good at paying attention.
Well, I don't know. I'm having an off day. Maybe it's the stickiness of the floor, but for some reason I can't tell who's, who's one of us around here. So
there's definitely a few of us here. I do not have the ability to zero in specifically, but I know they're here.
I'm not sure who the right hand of the Baron would be around here. I mean, we've got to find somebody who knows where to find the Baron. Or, I mean, do any of you know what the Baron looks like? Because I don't think I've ever seen the Baron. I've only heard the Baron. I try and stay out of Scarborough.
Yeah, I try to avoid Scarborough as much as possible. Never really felt comfortable around the Baron's territory. Or even not just this Baron, but the Barons, plural. Scarborough is a large place. I'm not entirely sure what the play is. I mean, I'm up for talking people up. Do any of you have any idea who I should be talking to?
Well,
I look at Barker or Ali.
And I look around and I point out the kindred that I can make out. That one. Then there's a few thin bloods, but they're not the important ones.
Do you happen to tell who looks important? Or just that they're kindred?
I assume that if they're thin bloods, they're probably not a Baron. That's a Bruja.
I guess if I'll go chat up a thin blood.
Well, I'll guess I'll do while I'm at this. I'll heighten senses and see if I hear anyone calling one of these people Drake. Unless the music is too loud and I'm gonna blow my ears out, in which case, absolutely not going to do that.
It's not. Yeah, it's not so much that the music is too loud. The music is kind of what you would expect in this particular environment. It's kind of like it's loud, but it's not overwhelmingly so. It's more the sound of like the ball hitting the wood and the
pins.
Bowling, and the bowling pins and the machines in the background for that.
So I think what I want to do is walk up to a random person that Ali has pointed out and chat them up. And
All right.
I will. Do I want to do it? I feel like I want to do it.
I don't know. Do you want to do it?
Do it.
And
do
for
it,
everyone
do the
else,
thing. No, it's not anything exciting.
in having this particular conversation, glancing around a little bit, Barker is not with you.
Yep.
Oh, right. I mean,
Is
yeah.
Barker doing the Barker thing? It's fine.
Barker, did his thing, and that's fine.
Well, I mean, we've been working together long enough to know what that is. It's cool. Nope, not lethal body. That's not what I want to do.
Isn't it though?
I mean,
Here it is.
some days you wake up and choose violence.
I would like to activate my
Aw.
I'd like to activate my awe just to.
Aww.
Yeah. No, it's not violence o'clock yet.
It's ah.
Oh. So it's the manipulation plus presence?
I believe so, yes.
2, 3.
Yes, manipulation and presence versus their composure and intelligence. And since this is a thin blood, yeah, he's not gonna get that many dice. Yeah, you won.
Oh, yeah. That's 3 successes.
That is confirmed, yes.
Cool.
So you walk up to like a kind of a thinnish woman. She's got kind of like literally half of her head is shaved and the other half is kind of parted over. And she's like,
Hey.
Hi.
I'm new to the neighborhood. I was wondering if you knew who was in charge around here.
Drake is.
Okay, which direction is he pointing?
She's
Or
pointing
is she pointing?
in the direction of like literally the entire Bolorama. Because she is fixated on your character.
Okay, yeah.
She is not looking away.
That's great. Could you give me maybe like a physical description of what Drake looks like? I'm new to the area. I just wanted to introduce myself.
Yeah, he's over there. He's kind of scruffy looking.
Go on, please. Scruffy looking.
Well,
hair color.
Like he's got red hair.
Great. And I look around trying to get the description out of, trying to match the description. Do I see a scruffy
There's a
looking
couple people with red hair. One of them has like fire engine red hair. There's another one with that kind of matches the description, kind of scruffy looking. He's got red hair. He seems to be kind of surrounded by a bunch of people.
Okay, so which one? Which one of them looks scruffier?
The second one would look scruffy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go. You've been such a help. Thank you. I didn't get your name.
I'm Jocelyn.
Hi. You can call me Dee. It's nice to meet you.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm just gonna leave Jocelyn there.
Like the eyes just follow where you're going because you haven't turned off awe yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it off as I walk away. So
and at that point, like one of her friends comes up and basically just elbows her in the ribs. She's like, "What are you doing?" Nothing.
Great. So I go back to my group, and I say, "Hey, I found him. He's in that crowd. Ginger with scruffy face, scruffier face."
Oh, We should introduce ourselves, I think, because, we're in his domain.
Yeah.
So we should make ourselves known and all that stuff, whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it'd be
I'm
hard to not notice that Diana was here.
Probably.
Saw the eyes just now.
Probably. Yeah. Yep.
I did say I was going to introduce myself. I'm on the up and up. I'm gonna walk over.
A very toreador of you.
Is the storyteller, is the person that Diana pointed out to us, who is presumably the Baron, is the Baron now looking at us, or
Not
no?
at all.
Okay, hasn't even noticed us. Okay, cool.
Yeah, like he's kind of sitting in like those typical seats that are in bowling alleys where it's like there's like the little teeny tiny pad and you could basically slide down the back of it because they're like ridiculously polished. And there's a couple people around them and they seem to be bowling.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk over.
He's kind of slouched back in the seat watching somebody else bowl.
Well. I see you're the man in charge. I've heard a lot about you, and I will sit across from him. Baron Drake, I presume.
I don't think you should be using that particular term in this.
Not into it.
Most of us are, what's the term? Kindred. But, it is kind of a public-ish area.
Would you prefer Canite?
No.
All right.
I didn't think so. Terrence Light, nice to meet you.
And he gives you like the big put the shoulder into it, like grabbing your hand and shaking it.
Okay, yeah, I should have expected that.
Eloise kind of looks over and reaches out a hand and says, Eloise Trent.
And he does kind of the same thing, but it's less of a overall like batter swing into your hand.
Yeah.
And he points back and forth from Diana to Eloise, and he's like, "You're gonna get shit on your shoes, just as a warning."
Yeah, I already learned that lesson. It's fine.
Diana seems surprisingly unbothered by it. Like whether she's actually bothered by it or not, she's trying not to let it show. And
that's definitely earning you respect points.
It's the kind of thing where she's like, she doesn't have to like it, but she also doesn't have to be loud about it. So she'll just
you don't want to be like, you don't want to show your whole hand.
No, it's one of those things where like you come into someone else's house and then you're gonna be a jerk about it. No. So Diana will also put her hand out and formally introduce herself. Diana Chambers. And when he does that
shoulder handshake
thing, he would feel a little bit surprised that she kind of, it's a strong, firm handshake in an unexpected way.
Yeah, all right. There's some more respect points coming your way.
Mm-hmm.
all
And
right, nice grip. All right. So what do you all want?
Can we talk somewhere privately? Do you have an office here that we could perhaps use, have a conversation?
It's going to be one of those chats, is it?
Nothing too unpleasant.
No, just, there's some things that you don't want to have said when there are non-kindred around, as you've already mentioned.
That's fair. There's a birthday party going on over there. Don't want to have anybody hearing this. All right. Tech. Frank, come on. And he gets up, and two of the people that are they're sitting on the opposite side because the bowling chairs kind of are back to back, and they get up and they follow him, and he's like, come with me. Well, us.
All right. Always falls.
And he leads you down. There's kind of the walkway that's behind all the seating that is looking out at the bowling alleys. And down to the end of that, there's a little bit of a smaller kind of alley. And then there's a door, several doors on the side, just beyond where the washrooms are. And he kind of holds the door open that's marked office.
After you. You take a seat. It's your place. I got this. I'm used to holding the door for the ladies.
All right. And he goes in. There's a kind of the stereotypical teacher kind of crappy desk that is like, it looks like if it hits a strong breeze, it'll fall over and fall into pieces. And he walks back behind. There's a shitty computer chair there. He kind of sits down, throws his legs up on the desk. And Tech and Frank. Tech is a woman, and Frank is a potentially Nosferatu, from what you can tell based on the clothing style that is there. They wait until you go in, and then they will follow.
Yep.
As soon as the door closes behind everyone, I am going to say, we had a visit in our favorite hangout, our neutral space, earlier this evening from, and then I look over at Terrence and I say, how many was it of
Well, once I showed them the way, there were
how many of them?
dozen that left out of there.
A dozen.
Was that right? I don't know how many. Storyteller just told me like 40% of the place emptied out. So
Yeah. Well, like once both sides emptied out, it was probably about a half dozen from each particular group that was there.
Yeah.
So, what we want to know, Baron, I mean, we came in here into your establishment and we introduced ourselves and decided that, because that was the right thing to do because, you're Baron and all that. Well, the bar that you went into, I mean, I own that building and don't really appreciate. I know.
I didn't go into any bar.
I know. What we're wondering, and we're, at this point, we're not making any accusations, but these people said that they were sent by you, and that's where we have kind of a disconnect because they came into our bar and they're representing you. So that's the problem that I see here.
Where is this bar located?
It's in the financial district.
What my associate is trying to say is that there's a handful of kindred that are claiming that you have sent them to our establishment. We just wanted to clear the air and, make sure that you knew what people were saying while invoking your name.
To be in a fight.
Yeah, I mean, that's
other kindred there.
Yeah.
That's the important part. The Camarilla folks that were there were of the mind that you were going to send your people to fight them, and they were of the mind that you told them that the Camarilla was going to attack them there.
Well, show me a half dozen kindred who say that I sent them anywhere tonight, and I'll show you a half dozen kindred who are full of shit.
You see,
can
I put this bluntly? I don't like liars, Mr. Drake.
I ain't
not
lying.
at all. So you're saying that people affiliated with you just showed up to our place at random to fight the Camarilla on your word.
Look,
So either someone tricked them
I didn't
or you're
give
lying.
any word to anybody tonight. We've all been here bowling because, in general, that's what we do.
Well, then this is a problem because somebody's going around saying things in your name and trying to cause violence in your name, and that
Yes,
doesn't.
that is a problem.
Yeah, that's definitely a
We
big problem.
it is a problem that we thought best to bring to your attention, is what that is. And now we want to know what you intend on doing about it, because they are misrepresenting you clearly.
Do you have a description of these particular kindred?
I'll
And
give them
you
descriptions.
can just say blah.
Yeah, I'll give them descriptions of the people.
These
Like
don't
straight up, here's my notebook for my notes.
Yeah.
This is what they looked like, sort of thing.
And he like sits up, takes his feet off the table, and he's like, none of these sound like any of my guys. So what I intend to do about it is I tend to have my people keep an eye out for these people, and if we find them, we're gonna kick the fucking shit out of them.
Okay.
That is all we ask. And also, I mean, while you're in the process of kicking the shit out of them, um, if you can possibly if any of your interrogation tactics aren't successful in getting the information of who actually sent them, please definitely give us a call. And I'm more than happy to do my own variety of interrogation on them.
We have our methods.
Yes.
Since they're not yours, I suppose you don't have that much to worry about on that end.
Not
Call it
at all.
a friendly exchange.
Problem is, if we find them in the Camarilla section, they may or may not disappear, and that may cause problem with the prince.
Let us know.
Yeah.
All right.
Wouldn't be the first time I've had a problem with a prince. Pompous assholes they tend to be.
Fucking Kmart.
You have any ideas who these guys might be? Maybe they answer to another baron. Scarborough's a big freaking place.
Yeah, it is. I've been trying to solidify it for the Anarchs.
How's that been working out for you?
Not incredibly well.
Huh.
Why?
Well, there are a few Anarch barons in this particular area that, let's just say they don't see the wisdom of working together.
How many barons are there in this area? Just out of curiosity.
Between here and the west end of Etobicoke, there's 3 other barons other than myself.
Oh, so you all got all the old Sabbat territories. Huh, got it.
Yeah, and as far as I understand it, there's been rumors kicking around that I'm going to wait till our good Nosferatu has his headphones in before I reveal this particular information. So they've been grilling the Baron, and he's basically said that there's 3 other barons other than himself between Scarborough and West Etobicoke. As far as I understand it, with what you're saying about the Sabbat is that they fucked off. But from what I also understand is that there's rumors kicking around about some of them coming back, wanting to stake some claims to their old stomping grounds. ones.
Really?
Hmm.
Have you seen any of them?
Me personally, no. But at least one of my group has gone missing, and one of another of my group managed to get away from that particular encounter, and they said that there was a pack that had come after them, yammering on about Cain and shit.
It's disconcerting. I mean, it might be high time for you and the camera to have some discussions about sure. Oh, I know, but shoring up the defenses. I mean,
What do you think I'm trying to do with the Anarchs?
well,
Yeah, if you can't
a
get all
big
your
city.
own people on the same page, then taking that to Prince, whatever her name is not going to do you very well.
Well,
She's not going to come to you
yeah.
unless things are real dire.
And he
That's
like kind of
interesting. Very interesting.
he has a clipboard which is kind of has the standard, the flipped over pages that are kind of rolled a little bit. And he takes it off the wall and he's like, yeah, it's like, fuck, what is it this week? Prince Olivia Morgan?
Mm.
Nosferatu or some shit. I don't know.
Yep. Now, in theory, let's just play a little game of theoreticals.
All right.
In theory, if you were to have had something to do with sending your people to what is essentially Switzerland here in Toronto, why? What would have been your purpose?
I have no idea.
Can I roll an insight check on this?
Sure.
All right.
It'll be wits and insight.
I am actually legitimately curious if this is
This
on the
insight
up and
check
up.
brought to you by our merch store.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 successes.
Yep.
You've seen a lot of people lie, and he seems to be telling the truth.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Does anyone else have anything they want to ask Mr. Drake here?
I'm an open book.
I mean, that's pretty much the question. We were really concerned that you would send people for a fight because, your people have come to our bar occasionally, but they've come to sit and chat and, have a good time kind of thing if they're in the area. And we don't have a problem with that. So, I mean, we're extending the invitation to you. If you want to come to, our speakeasy, have a drink, chat, listen to the wonderful Diana here sing some beautiful tunes, then by all means. And, as long as it's neutral, as long as there's no political affiliations involved in it, we're good. But we are going to have to request that you ask the same of your people, because we've never had to ask this. It's always been, it's always been known. But if you could just make sure your people know that if they come into that bar, they need to leave all their shit at the door, it would be appreciated.
Yeah, they already know.
All right, cool.
I'm not one of those, like, let me put it to you like this. Me going into your territory, through Camarilla territory, to pick a fight with people who don't know me from Adam, what part of that seems like a good idea to you? I'm not some LA anarch picking fights with everybody all over the place and bickering about territory and shit. I'm trying to organize people here.
So who do you think would do it then? Do you have any ideas?
I am just as clueless as you are.
Well, I, for one, am glad that we extended this goodwill to you and gave you a heads up about, people speaking your name out of turn.
That is appreciated.
If you ever require kindred who can be extra charismatic.
It's always useful in a negotiation trying to get these other Baron shitheads to fall in line.
Well, if there's anything we can do, within our means, of course, Miss Trent, as the owner of a speakeasy, and she's relatively easy to reach.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. Hiding in plain sight is usually my best bet.
Well, with the Inquisition breathing down everybody's necks, probably a good idea.
Yeah. If you need anything from us, yeah, definitely. Diane's right. Give us a shout. Any of us.
All right, will do.
And yeah, let us know how this turns out, because we're more than just curious. We think something might be afoot, and better have it resolved and nipped in the bud. Is it called? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of those highfalutin Toreador phrases.
Yeah.
Something about flowers or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, every rose
Wouldn't
has a
know
thorn
anything
or
about
something.
that. I think I know for one, my business here is done. If the rest of the coterie has anything else to say, I think we're good.
All right.
I'm good.
Pleasure to meet you.
You all as well.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
Same.
And Diana will be the first to stand up or whatever and walk out the door, as Diana does.
Beating a hasty retreat out of the Scarborough Bolorama.
Damn. Yep.
Indeed.
So where will you all be going from here?
Well,
go ahead.
I was going to say, once we've got everybody packed in the car, I think I'd want to turn to Barker and ask Barker, so what are your thoughts on all of this? Because I know you kept out of sight for good reason. I want to make sure we're all on the same page. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, the fourth door would open and Barker would get in as everyone's getting in the car. Okay, well, that was, I don't know if I'd call that useful. It was kind of. We should have gotten more information out of that.
I don't think
idiots
he had any
we
more
turfed, but like names or something. But I mean, he probably wouldn't have known them either.
Yeah, what he said was on the up and up. I'm pretty good at seeing through it, and he doesn't know, which means
good.
Which means something even more.
No, all it
troubling.
means is someone hired them using his name.
Yeah, but not just hired them. I think they believed it. I think both of them believed it, both sides, which means someone was messing around up here.
Yeah, maybe.
But
So
what? That's the thing, right?
I still don't know. I still don't know what's making me feel uncomfortable, but I was right to feel uncomfortable about this whole situation.
Fresh the gut. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it's if it turns out that this is not a great situation, then I mean, the prince hasn't given us a response, and we can always still say no. The contract's not signed. You know,
I
Well,
don't know how the two things go together.
I don't know if they do, but whatever it is, we need to figure it out because it's just too much of a coincidence that the prince is asking us, and the scourge is coming in on the same day that we're trying to stop a fight between the two factions, or what passes as the two factions. you know
Uh,
it stays like this that I actually, I hate to say this because it pains me to say it, but I guess, you hate them until you need them. I really kind of wish we had a Tremere, kind of get to the root. I know.
really?
You know, I know. But
we've
sometimes they're
done
useful. They're
we've done.
useful.
I am going to point out we've done really well without one.
That's fair. I mean, I just feel like one could get kind of a check on like whether their heads had messed up or something like that. Like, it would have been at least a little bit of relief to know what was going on. But yeah, you're right. We've done really well without one.
And they haven't
And
always been the most accepting of me and my people.
no, I know. And I can see your point. And I mean, thankfully for us, there's not a lot of them that I know of, at least in the city. Yeah.
I get where you're coming from, but I would maybe Banu Hakim or something like that. Someone else who can do similar things.
Yeah,
'Cause,
yeah. I mean, I get where you're coming from. And yeah, I mean, the Banu Hakim, I haven't seen many around lately, but
yeah, you don't want the other ones who can do blood sorcery.
yeah, yeah, no, you
Well,
don't want that.
Mm.
So, at that particular point in the conversation, I'd say it's a good time to call off this particular episode, the first episode of our limited series. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you for any bits or subscriptions that you've sent our way. It is always appreciated. And pretty much all the money goes to help out everybody on screen. So, we will do a quick outro sesh for everybody to let everybody know who you are, where you're going to be, and what's going on. And then we'll raid somebody because Rolling D20s is coming back for their new season at some point soon, but it is not tonight. So
indeed.
let's start off with Anne.
Hi, my name is Anne. I have been playing our Toreador, Diana Chambers, and you can find me on Twitter at XO_Girl Wonder. I usually post my schedule there weekly, and yeah, I've got a lot of stuff going on that I can't currently keep track of. So Twitter is the best place to find out what all the things are.
I know that feeling quite well. Prince.
Hey everybody, I'm Prince, also known as Dimples and Dice around the internet. That is where you can find me: Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all that jazz. Let's see. Well, I'm off for Rolling These 20s. We just had our finale last week. So you won't see us back there for another 2 weeks. So this week and then next week we'll be off. But when we come back, it'll be our 5th and final season for our coterie. And then something else will happen. But that's something to keep in mind. This is going to be the last season of that. You can also catch me over on my channel at 11 a.m. on Sundays. That's Eastern time for Wayward Revelry. It is a D&D 5e campaign based on Wild Beyond the Witchlight with my own little twists and turns to it. I had a little spice. I'm on a bunch of stuff and things. There are new announcements coming real soon. So do make sure you keep an eye on my Twitter. And the Rolling These 20s Twitter. And if you have the opportunity or chance to, give us those the follows on the YouTube. We're trying to grow our audience there. There's going to be more stuff coming over there as well. So thank you.
And Joanna.
Hello, my name is Joanna, and I was playing Eloise Trent, the Ventru for you today. You will find me on Twitter at Hyrule Gardner. Normally, you'll find me on here on Saturdays during our Delve into Darkness game, where I play a Tremere. But we're off for the next few weeks, and I'm so happy to be able to be playing with this wonderful bunch and exploring my hometown of Toronto. And yeah, that's it for me. I cannot wait to play this next week.
And Cliff.
Hey, folks. My name is Cliff. You can find me on the Insta as the Vintage GM, where I do pop up a variety of things from time to time. I played Barker the Beautiful tonight, the wonderfully hide in the shadows and creep around Nosferatu, which is well, a lot of fun, especially with this crowd going out as the front people. You can find me here on the Saturdays normally for the Vampire Takeover. You can also find me on, we're shifting to Tuesday nights for the Changeling game now. For Toronto by Day Tales from the Rookery, where a group of other supernaturals are doing things in Toronto. And then there are other projects in the pipeline that will be coming down sooner rather than later, probably. Keep an eye on my Insta for that, and I'll let you know what's going on.
And this guy's Storyteller Steve. We are still doing the contest for the next couple of days for the YouTube. If you subscribe to our YouTube, if you go to that Twitter link and you share the stuff, you can have a chance to win some Odd Duck dice, which are these awesome dice. Rosie made them. They are liquid core. There's no blood involved in the inside of the dice, but they are liquid core blood dice. They have red like liquid inside them, and you roll them, liquid swirls around a bit. They look amazing. I've seen them in action. So you can have a chance to win that. If we hit 1,100 subs, we are 50, less than 50 away, I think, right now, as of Monday. Yeah, so go on over for that, and yeah, buy some of our merch. Our merch store is over there. And we have Ko-Fi, we have Patreon. $1 in Patreon gets you an awesome amount of stuff. All you need is the $1. And I think it's Canadian, might be American, I'm not sure. I think it's American. But either way, it's like $7.50 Canadian. Yeah, like, fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all you need, and it helps us out a lot. It helps everybody on all of our shows, and yeah, we are trying to get everybody pay for their time. So we will be rating into somebody. Not sure who it is yet. I will be delaying this a little bit right now, so I'm searching as I'm broadcasting this, trying to find somebody to raid, and we will raid over there in just a few minutes. So have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you next week for part 2.